Hi, everybody. How are you? And welcome to Enjoy the Show. It's so good to have you all here again. Got my awesome, phenomenal, crazy wild co-host who's on bizarre diet right now. Say hi, Brian.
Wow, I love you too, Judy. Hi, everyone. Chat room, listening live. And Judy, my awesomely ridiculous co-host. Good to talk to you as well. My pleasure is all mine as usual. Glad to be here. It's going to be fun. As it always is.
Awesomely ridiculous, huh? Oh, boy.
Yeah, what everybody missed before they tuned in tonight was Judy basically making fun of me about just everything she possibly could and pack into 10 minutes leading up to the show. But she's so subtle. She's so subtle about it.
I was going to say, what planet are you on?
Like the loud typing and the singing of Miley Cyrus songs, and then...
Oh, you set yourself up for that one, dude.
Well, I guess so.
Oh, you totally did. Oh, you did. Oh, okay, so I'm ridiculous.
I love you for your ridiculousness. There's nothing wrong with ridiculous, actually. Ridiculous is at the other end of the spectrum of normal, which makes it awesome. So that's a backhanded compliment for you, my dear co-host friend.
It comes from the word ridicule, so I'm not quite sure about that. But hey, it works okay. I'm just pretending to be offended, truly.
I just did a not joke. Wow, that was terrible. Sorry.
Yeah, Brian has to eat constantly now because he's on this thing that he's got to eat, 4,000 calories a day?
I'm doing the 60-day insanity challenge to keep myself busy and get out some of the crazy energy that's coming through me right now. And it has me on a 3,500 calorie a day diet, which is about 1,500 calories probably more than I usually consume. So I'm constantly eating. It's 5 meals a day. And it's like eating past the point of full, so it's uncomfortable still, but fun. It's awesome to have to eat more than what you usually do, and not really so much actually at all. But it is a challenge, and I enjoy a good challenge, so it's been
ridiculous.
It's been ridiculous. I'm only 5 days in. It's crazy.
And I don't think any of you know who we decided to bring on tonight. I just absolutely loved the show last week and felt very strongly that I would love to have the beautiful energies of Lydia along with us this evening. So, Lydia, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, Judy. Hi, Brian. Thank you for having me. I'm always, with such gratitude, consider it such a privilege to be able to be in communion with all of you. So, hello to everybody.
So glad you're here.
Hello, Lydia. I know I just already told you hello before the show started, but hello again, because it's sort of the same.
Hello again.
So happy to have you, as usual.
Thanks. Very honored.
Thanks. Be here.
And I think tonight we're gonna be talking about something that's kind of been on my mind over the last couple of weeks, and especially now, what I'm seeing around me everywhere is that people are cycling through these changes in such a breakneck speed these days. And it's kind of hard to keep up with it. And there's so much going on outside of us, seemingly outside of us, that is going on in the world, and we're expecting so much or hoping for so much and being disappointed when we see certain things that feel really off base, and we're being challenged with all kinds of information coming in from so many different sources. And I think it can be very confusing, it can be off-putting, it can be incredibly challenging. For some people, I'm sure it's wonderful. I think it really hits the spectrum of pretty much every emotion and thought form that we can create and recognize at this point. So this is kind of going to be hopefully a giggling and fun and enjoyable and sweet journey through what this all looks like, and bringing in some universal truths that might help us to walk this path a little bit more smoothly inside each one of us. So I hope you're going to like this, and as usual, it's going to be pretty much off the cuff. Because
I lost my script. So. Yeah, off the cuff. Yes.
Off the cuff.
As we always do with all of our shows.
Exactly.
I was telling Judy before we went live that what a perfect. I mean, we kind of touch on this this theme kind of across a lot of the shows, but to really focus on it is important because people are going through a lot of stuff right now. You know, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine that's doing this workout challenge with me, and he was he said before he started he's going through, and this is a very awesome guy. He hosts. I met him from. He hosts a meetup meditation group at the Encinitas Library here in my area, and I went and did a couple of his meditations with him, and he was just a really, really awesome guy, and we became friends like right out of the gate. And this is the kind of guy, he's just a happy-go-lucky, really grounded, very kind of in tune with who he is type of a spirit.
Were you looking in the mirror, dude?
I guess so, probably. There's a lot of adjectives to describe my friend right there. Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like.
But he was saying that he's been going through some, and I'm not going to name him by name for anonymity purposes, but he's been going through some depression, and he's doing this challenge with me has kind of it's kind of reinvigorated his outlook on various things, and all it took was that one little thing. But we had a discussion this morning, and he was saying he just wants to get. He feels like he, based on his age and based on everything that he's been through in his life, he feels like he should be more, accomplished and be doing different things and having different experiences and this and that. And I was kind of just having a dialogue with him because it was so foreign to hear these kinds of things come out of his mouth, because that's not, it's not indicative of who this person is. And obviously energies that are coming through for him. And we had this really awesome dialogue, and he kind of walked away from it realizing that, first of all, to judge wherever you are based on societal standards, not necessarily the best approach to whatever it is that you're doing in your life. If you're looking in the mirror and you're saying I should be doing something differently because I'm this age, it's not necessarily in harmony with the way things really are. Sure. Really the conclusion that was drawn based on after a really awesome dialogue is, look, if you're doing what you love and you're doing the things that you enjoy doing, because he was like, looking at all this stuff I'm doing, and I just want to be doing more of the kind of things that you're doing. And I said, look, I'm not doing anything special. I'm just following the information that I really enjoy, and the universe has paved a trail to allow for me to do that in a more expanded state and allow me to share it with other people. I said, but that all spawned from me following the things in my life that I enjoyed doing. And what I enjoyed doing ultimately became the work that I ended up being called to do very clearly by the universe on all sorts of levels. So I think our minds try to complicate things in our lives, situations, circumstances, experiences. Our egos try to pick it apart, put it back together, understand every element of it, when it's not meant to be so complicated. I keep saying that one of the most important things in my life right now is just kind of to simplify my approach to everything and just do every day, just dedicate my day to this show, being in joy, and following the things that I'm passionate about. And ultimately, the universe takes care of the rest of the details. And I think that when you look at wherever you're at from that approach, you tend to put a lot less pressure on yourself based upon not necessarily being or doing what you envision yourself to be doing based on some outside function or faculty or preconceived notion of where you thought you should have been based on how old you are or what you've experienced in your life. And that's a big part of the illusion that and the energy that's coming up to be released at this point.
I think the constructs now, the constructs that we're all used to right now are pretty much meaningless. Linda Livesey said, follow your bliss, that's all that's important. And I think that's what Bashar also says. And I have a huge amount of respect for Bashar and what I've heard through Bashar for the years that I've listened to him. And I think when we get down to the place where we're actually following our bliss, everything else seems to melt away. and we become more focused on what really truly matters, and then things open up in front of us so naturally. So I think that's really important. And, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think it's really interesting, and I think a lot of people right now are kind of having a bit of a battle with this straddle between 3D and 5D, and, knowing that you still sort of kind of are here living within certain portions of it, and knowing that if you focus on 5D, then you won't be so so focused here that it's a really interesting tug of war that we're going through, some of us right now.
Greg Braden calls it. He wrote a book after what you just said, which is an amazing book, and it's titled "Walking Between the Worlds." It's kind of like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. We're these 3D beings having having multidimensional experiences. Whether we're conscious of them or not, they're there, they're happening. We feel them. We feel the energies of them. And I think that the key for many people that I've talked to as of recently has been to, we mentioned it on the show, all the shows blend together, but just relaxing into the flow of it all. Just letting go and relaxing into the flow of it all. I think that if there's anything that represents that energy, it's probably Lydia's voice.
Exactly.
Thank you, Brian. And I couldn't agree more. I remember when that question was posed to me, whatever that beautiful show, when we were in dialogue, and I think it was Lisa that asked, and that was what I felt. That's what my heart motivated me. What motivates me is the knowing of the relaxing. It's absolutely everything right now. In that relaxation is where we are able to flow in this continuum and literally observe the things going on around us, not be as affected by them, i.e. the angst or the anxiety or all of the conditioning factors that we, some of us are still having brought up and out of us right now, can be very amplified. So the relaxation, you can call it, so to speak, the antidote to that. It's what will counteract or actually dissipate this anxiety or this feeling like we should be or need to be doing something other than what truly inside we know we want to be doing at this time. So I agree with you both.
How do you find that place within yourself? Or do you even go search for it anymore? Is it just so natural that you flow into it? And if that's the case, try to think back on when it was more of a challenge, and how did you find that space within yourself?
I'm more and more in that state with tremendous gratitude, and I believe it was just, for myself personally, it was actually coming up against what I perceive to be some very huge things in my life, and the only way for me to quote-unquote continue to exist or be around it anymore was simply to give in and to relax into all of it now. So it's really not unlike we hear so many others say, there gets a where you just kind of hit the wall sometimes. It doesn't have to be that way for everybody, though. And I hope that that's some information that we can all cover together tonight. To just know, give yourself permission to relax, no matter what things look like around us, no matter what we might believe people's perceptions are of us. Go ahead and just relax. Not only are you benefited, but all beings are benefited by that.
True.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we all have had those experiences in the past, which take on different faces. Like, for example, classic example. A guy is waiting for a phone call from a woman or that he's interested in, or vice versa, right? And they never get that call. and they sit by the phone and they're waiting and they're stressed and they're upset and they're going through all these these emotions, and it's just so intense, and you're just like going through, playing out all these processes in your mind, and trying to figure out why didn't they call, what's going on, they're not interested, why aren't they interested, and then only to find out later that they lost their phone, or they had to take their mom to the hospital, or something that was like totally understandable, and then you look back at the event and you say, you laugh at it, right? And you say, oh my God, all of that mental anguish that I created for myself was absolutely, completely brought on by my own self and totally unnecessary. And that's just one of many examples, right, where we can look back at a situation that you can use anything that has caused a lot of stress, and always in hindsight you look back at it and you say, after you have a chance to process the experience, and you say, oh my God, I didn't need to go there. And I think that when you become more conscious of that in your life, you learn those lessons enough times. The idea is you learn them enough times, and it becomes more second nature to step outside the situation when situations come up, and not allow it to cause such psychological damage. And that is empowering, because then you have the ability to control how you feel at all times. And I mean, if that's not on everybody's top of everybody's desire list of being able to control how you feel at all times, it should be, because who doesn't want to feel great all the time? And sure, there's going to be times that happen in life where, for whatever reason, you don't feel great. And during those times, we also have a habit of judging them. Why am I allowing myself to feel this way? And that's also not the way to go, because we've all talked about it. It's a broken record in this dialogue to even say that you shouldn't judge your feelings when they come up, because we all know, well, the majority of us have learned through experience that it doesn't serve us to hold hostage our feelings because we don't want to experience them. I think it's all feeling a feeling. Oh, somebody sent me. I want to read this real quick because it's so relative right now. My friend Nanako, she sent me this yesterday, and it's about feeling, and it's so perfect to this conversation right now. So I'm just going to read it here real quick. Hold on one second. I just have to find it. Here it is. Okay.
You're
she said, I found it. She said, this is from a book by Florian Schlosser titled Being. And it says, there is a difference between being our feelings and having feelings. So long as we believe in our interpretations of reality, we are our feelings. If we become our feelings, no other possibilities exist for us. The whole world becomes those feelings. When the feelings are brought under observation, we have, in capitals, feelings. There is a distinction between who we are and the feelings we have. First we are the feeling, then we have the feeling. The third stage is to be the space for all feelings, the pure awareness in which all thoughts and feelings come and go without the separation created by being attracted to them, trying to avoid them, or trying to manipulate them. Feelings are like thoughts, which are fleeting, right? They come from the collective consciousness, and they come from our own higher selves.
And they come from our body memories as well.
Yes. Yeah, so let them flow through. Let them flow through without attaching yourself. You are not
brilliant.
Your feelings. You are not your thoughts of who you think you are. You're not the clothes that you wear. You're not the car that you drive. You're not the house that you live in. You're not the things that you own. You are your eternal essence consciousness that is beyond description. Mm-hmm. And so you don't have to, when things come up to be experienced, you don't have to, I think that part of the human condition is we built habits around latching onto them and defining ourselves through the experience of holding on to those things, because it creates our identity, which is ultimately our ego. So I realize I'm ranting right now.
Yes, you are. But it was good. It was worth it.
I can consciously even pick up my own rant now. Now that.
You know what? It's really interesting that you say that, and one of the things that I wrote for to share tonight fits beautifully with that. And it's a quote from Marianne Williamson. It says, "The ego says, once everything falls into place, I'll be okay. Spirit says, find your peace, and then everything will fall into place.
Ha.
Beautiful.
I love that. Wow. Yeah, that's spot on. Absolutely spot on. Well, can you text me that, or?
I will.
I think I just changed the tattoo that I want to put on my face.
Okay.
Talk about being a reflection.
Are we going to have the ego on one side and spirit says on the other side? Kind of like football stuff underneath your eyes.
Oh, God. It's getting ridiculous. No judgment. No judgment. Lydia, how do you feel about that? Tattoos on our faces to show how much we are passionate about our ideas? No, you don't have to
or
answer
not
that.
so much.
You know what? I think it's hilarious. I think it's a good idea if a person is bold enough to do it, because we've actually a lot of hilarious conversations about what we should tattoo across our forehead, so that when we're out walking amongst beings, it would be represented well. So I actually think it's hilarious. I don't know if I would be one that would be bold enough to actually do it, but
I would not. I carry it in my head.
We did do henna tattoos when we were deep in the Sahara Desert
cool.
in our Morocco trip. But can you imagine what a great conversation?
You do it on your face?
No, not on our faces. Where was mine? Mine was on my forearm, I believe, and I ended up picking it off because it was like too puffy and it just, it's hard to not mess with it. But yeah, I think pretty much everybody got one. But I'm thinking I love you right across my forehead. What a great conversation starter at the grocery store, anywhere you go. It's like, wow, you love everyone so much. You tattooed it on your face? I mean, God, okay. It's getting serious. It's getting real up in here.
That's pretty cool. But you actually carry that around just with the expression you have on your face. I know you do.
Well, thank you for that. I'm actually a very miserable person by nature. It's just,
well, I know. I'm just trying to build your confidence. Would you just quit stopping me?
I do a great
job.
job.
Would you just take a compliment for once?
Oh my God! Listen to this. Yes, thank you. I'll be quiet. You got more, or can I? No.
No
more?
No.
Okay.
I think you just need
let
to
me
be
know when one
quiet
pops
for a
up.
while. All right.
If you need to interrupt me at any time to pay me a compliment, by all means, Judy, you have my permission to go for it. My my friend Jake Ducey, good story. My friend Jake Ducey is the first blog post I put out when I started my blog. He has the book called Into the Wind and his 6-month journey to finding himself, basically. And he has a YouTube video called Love What You Do, and it's just about the importance of loving what you do and at all times. And I went to one of his workshops, and by the way, I'll make that announcement at the end. I went to one of his workshops, and he talked about, all right, I'm going to do an experiment. Everyone listening and in the chat room, what I want you to do, stop what you're doing, stop typing for a moment. Well, you can continue typing, but stop what you're doing and smile from ear to ear. All right, everybody, Lydia, Judy, everybody, just smile real quick right now from ear to ear. Do you see how much just that doing changes your energy? Is it possible to smile from ear to ear and be upset about anything? So when you're I thought this was brilliant because it was so true. I caught myself smiling. I was like, oh my God, it was like permagran because it was so powerful. The idea that all it takes is a smile. And then when you do it, it's contagious and you share it with other people. So if you're having a bad day, if you're feeling in a funk, stop what you're doing, take 3 deep breaths, and just smile and see how much that changes the course of your day or the course of the day of the person that you smiled at that was having the bad day before they saw your contagious smile.
Charity's saying her face is starting to hurt. I love it. I can feel it. It feels wonderful. And it brings me to another quote that I wrote down just before the show, too. And it comes from actually Pablo Picasso, who wrote, "Everything you can imagine is real." Now, that goes way deep and into lots and lots of other places, but it also fits beautifully with that. When you put that smile on your face, it creates, it's almost as if it triggers endorphins.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, one thing that you know, that keeps coming up, I've gotten, just in the last few days, I've gotten messages from people that have, you know, people in their life that they care about that are having a really tough time with some aspect of their life. And, you know, this could be outside of, you know, people that are outside of, you know, all the wonderful radio shows, outside of Media Network, and, you know, outside of, let's just call it the truth movement. And they are struggling to figure out the most effective way at helping these people in their lives get through these tough times. And that's a whole other awesome dialogue, because I think everybody kind of has their own approaches to, I mean, it's, for me, it's become now second nature for me to control my own energy field. You know, there's not a whole lot that drives me crazy. There's not a whole lot that brings me down. There's not a whole lot that makes me angry. I'm a pretty, like, even-minded kind of guy, and I've gotten that way through practice and through paying attention to my own energy field. So when it comes to me, it's I mean, we all still have things to learn, so I don't want to figure out, like, I've got the keys to the universe. I do, not consciously all of them, but controlling my energy field has become something that I kind of do inherently now, right? But for others in our life, people that are struggling and maybe that haven't manifested the experiences that have allowed them to learn the lessons to which, you know, to increase their ability to be able to control these, you know, these energies, really, which is what they are, that are coming through. You know, doesn't matter who you are or where you are on the planet, there's energies that are coming through everyone to be processed. And if you are consciously aware of what they are and kind of how they work in some way, shape, or form, then it's a lot easier to ultimately navigate your way through. But there's a lot of people that are new, you know, to understanding how, you know, these things work. And so I'd be curious to hear from Lydia and from Judy what your approach is when you have people in your life that are going through funks, and how you hold space for those individuals and allow them to experience what they're experiencing, but also help them to understand that it's going to be okay ultimately. Lydia, you want to take a quick shot at that first?
Yeah, sure. Really, what's become increasingly important for me is that to allow that other being, whomever that might be, that's coming across, whether it be a family member, a friend, an acquaintance, is to view that individual for who they truly are, first and foremost, and that is eternal essence. And right away, when you have that view of that individual, it kind of takes away the sting or the emotional interplay that might come in there by you viewing this being as something other than that. And the reason why I say this is because we are all aspects of eternal essence. We know that. So maybe we're talking to a family member who is not aware of these types of things that we're talking about now. Nevertheless, viewing them for who they truly are allows us to empower them, and they at some level are aware of who they truly are. It's just not manifesting itself at present. So for me, that's really, really huge, and it also clears the path, it clears the way to be able to energetically send that love frequency to them. So for me, that's really like step one anymore for me. Because if I don't do that, sometimes what I used to do, because it's just the type of personality that I am, I was always trying to get in and fix people's lives for them. And now I see that that's not so much the thing to be doing, because they are on their path and they need to make their way. They need to find their way. It's critical. It's important for all of us. So we are more of that just sacred space, that beautiful love frequency in which that they can be around. And they do feel it, whether it's subconscious or consciously. They do feel that kind of awareness about you and how you absolutely honor them for who they truly are. It makes a huge difference. And I have put this practice into play for quite some time now, and it really does very subtly, very beautifully, and very lovingly change the dynamics with your interplay with that being. It really, truly does, because you honor them for who they are. In other words, also like when we use the beautiful word namaste, sometimes people just say that and they don't really remember what they're saying when they say namaste. The practice that I've just described is that very thing. Right. It's that acknowledging and that knowing of eternal essence in that being, and then the reciprocation back. So it's very, very beautiful. So that's what's a very profound and beautiful knowing for myself in these times.
That's beautiful, Lydia. Anybody that doesn't know what namaste means, it means I honor the spirit in you, which is also the spirit in me.
Yes.
Very profound.
Yes.
Okay. Lydia, beautifully put. Beautifully put. And it doesn't surprise me in the least. Because I know we've only just met, but you can read your energy like a book from hundreds of miles away, because you're such a pure soul and spirit that you know, we've talked about it before. I see you as the queen of holding space, and what that says is that what I'm doing is I'm paying compliment. This is the beautiful part of paying compliments to others, is that you're recognizing those very things within yourself too. So it's also a compliment to myself that I can realize that. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. And you're very correct. It's the beautiful unfoldment, the blossoming in all of us. We're mirroring each other. That's very correct.
Absolutely. Lydia, beautifully put. How about you, Judy?
When I speak with people, and I do a lot, because when I do the tarot card readings, people come with obviously if they're coming for a tarot card reading, there's something going on with them that they want to know about. And many people that I come across are not particularly familiar with the energetics and the nature of the universal laws. And so to me, it's already a joy. I'm already excited that they're coming, and I'm already excited that there's an opportunity to something that they didn't know about themselves before. Because I don't have to worry about the reading itself, because the reading itself is always right on. It's never not. So it's not like I have to worry, oh my gosh, is this one going to be right? It's like, okay, so what is this going to say about what's going on in their energy signature right now? And then we'll find out as it opens up how receptive they are to the understanding of who they truly are. And it comes out almost immediately that, who you are is the energy of love. All that is the energy of love. And each one of us and everything that exists is a part of that energy interacting with everybody else and with everything else. And that whatever happens outside of you is a reflection of what's going on inside of you. And when we do these readings, it literally will spell out what's going on in your energy signature for what it is that you want to know. And so I find that to be just the most beautiful opening. And a good 90-some% of the people that I do readings for are, even if they've never heard of any of this before, they are so open to understanding it, and it's just like they look at me like, wow, that's really cool. And it's about, it's about understanding choice points. It's about realizing that every time you have a thought that comes into your head, as the observer, you have a choice what to do with that thought. Is that my thought, or is that a thought that I learned from someone else? And is it true? Is it kind? Am I being kind to myself? If I'm finding that I'm not being kind to other people, then it probably means that I'm not being kind to myself. I'm not treating myself well. Also, it's about perception. So, how you're looking at a situation, is it the only way to look at it? Are there other options? And how could you look at it that might fit more nicely with how you would choose to see the world? Because whatever your perception is will create your reality.
Yep.
So, it's all kinds of wonderful, beautiful, energetic truths of who we are. And, people are, and I explain very, very clearly to them as well that I'm not teaching you anything. There's nothing that I'm saying to you right now that you don't already know in some way, on some level of who you are. You know everything. You understand everything. It's just been closed off because we've been taught to put up all of these other constructs of what we think reality truly is. And as we start breaking off these parts of us that no longer serve us, then we begin to make space to shine and to become more fully who we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, Judy, are you always this profound?
Yeah, pretty much. Ask anybody I know.
Oh, gosh. Hey, I think it's probably a good time. That was beautiful. Very well put, and an awesome approach, and just so resonates with how I'm feeling exactly to a T. What are the odds? Why don't we take this time, if we may, to
Please.
let Lydia do her thing that we talked about before the show. I think it's probably a good time now. We're about 40 minutes in to the show, So Lydia,
okay.
You want to do your thing?
Okay. And to all of our family, to our beautiful brothers and sisters who are listening, what we were talking about is beautiful information that I've gleaned from a couple of beautiful teachers, beautiful human beings, along the lines of meditation, and we kind of thought it would be appropriate, so to speak, like sprinkling petals on the path, preparing the way for this very profound and beautiful meditation that we're leading up to here on Friday. So when I had this information and I pulled it, I thought this would be a beautiful segue to be able to help get us in a beautiful frame of mind for that, and or even possibly answer questions that people might have around meditation even. So this is the information here, and I'll go ahead and start sharing it.
Beautiful.
So it starts here by saying, if from the meditative perspective, everything you are seeking is already here, even if it is difficult to wrap your thinking mind around that concept, if there really is no need to acquire anything or attain anything or improve yourself, if you are already whole and complete, and by that same virtue, so is the world, then why on earth bother meditating? Why would we want to cultivate mindfulness in the first place? The answer is this. As long as the meaning of everything you are seeking is already here, is only a concept, it is only a concept, just another nice thought. Being merely a thought, it is extremely limited in its capacity for transforming you, for manifesting the truth the statement is pointing to, and ultimately changing the way you carry yourself and act in the world. More than anything else, I have come to see meditation as an act of love, an inward gesture of benevolence and kindness toward ourselves and toward others, a gesture of the heart that recognizes our perfection even in our obvious imperfection, with all our shortcomings, our wounds, our attachments, our vexations, and our persistent habits of unawareness. It is a very brave gesture to take one seat for a time and drop in on the present moment without adornment, in stopping, looking, and listening, in giving ourselves over to all our senses, including mind, in any moment. We are in that moment embodying what we hold most sacred in life, making the gesture, which we might include assuming a specific posture for formal meditation, but also could be simply becoming more mindful or more forgiving of ourselves, immediately reminds us and rebodies us. In a sense, you could say that it refreshes us. It makes this moment fresh, timeless, freed up, wide open. In such moments, we transcend who we think we are. We go beyond our stories and all our incessant thinking, however deep and important it sometimes is, and reside in the seeing of what is here to be seen, and the direct, non-conceptual knowing of what is here to be known, which we don't have to seek because it is already and always here. We rest in awareness, in the knowing itself, which includes, of course, sometimes not knowing as well. We become the knowing and the not knowing, as we shall see over and over again. And since we are completely embedded in the warp and the woof of the universe, there is really no boundary, this benevolent gesture of awareness, no separation from other beings, no limit to either heart or mind, no limit to our being or our awareness, or to our open-hearted presence. In words, this may sound like an idealization. Experienced, however, it is merely what it is. Life expressing itself, sentience quivering within infinity, with things just as they are. So resting in awareness in any moment involves giving ourselves over to all our senses, in touch with inner and outer landscapes as one seamless whole, and thus in touch with all of life unfolding in its fullness in any moment and in every place we might possibly find ourselves, inwardly and outwardly. So every moment in which we are caught by desire, by an emotion, by an unexamined impulse, idea, or opinion, in a very real way, we are instantly imprisoned by the contraction within that habitual way we react, whether it is a habit of withdrawal and distancing ourselves, as in depression and sadness, or erupting and getting emotionally hijacked by our feelings when we fall headlong into anxiety or anger. Such moments are always accompanied by a contraction in both the mind and the body. But, and this is a huge but, there is simultaneously a potential opening available here as well, a chance not to fall into the contraction or to recover more quickly from it if we can bring awareness to it. For we are locked up in the automaticity of our reaction and caught in its downstream consequences only by our blindness in that moment. Dispel the blindness, and we see that the cage that we thought we were caught up in is already open. So when we come right down to it, what else is there to do? If we are not grounded in our being, if we are not grounded in wakefulness Are we not actually missing out on the gift of our very lives and the opportunity to be of any real benefit to others? It does help if we remind ourselves to ask our hearts from time to time and as often as possible, what is most important right now, in this very moment, and listen very carefully for the response. And as Thoreau put it, at the end of his beautiful work, Walden, only that day dawns to which we are awake. So some very beautifully profound words that I hope everyone enjoys.
Wow. Profound, to say the least. If there were another word. That is clarity. That is beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Wow.
That covered so many nuanced points, and it was everything and nothing all at the same time.
I don't even know what that means, but wow, there's so many ahas in there for me.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. Thank you so much.
I think the big takeaway, Lydia, that was beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think the big takeaway in there, there's multiple, but is
profound, right?
is our ability to choose to not get so caught up in our own minds about everything.
Yeah. Yes, and particularly now, because the information that is coming to us all now, like you both discussed at the top of the conversation, is coming so fast and so furious now that sometimes we feel we have to respond to all of it, or any of it, or a portion thereof, or feel like we have to defend one thing over another. And that's an impossibility, truly. It's not what is asked of us in this moment of now. Really, what is asked of us right now is to observe it. I remember how beautifully Heather reminded us, it seems like eons ago, but would literally, I guess, be a few months ago, when this information, all of this absolute data, full transparency, begins to reveal itself to us. What are we going to do? And I believe that we are fully in that now. It's very apparent that we are fully in that. So what are we to do? And that's why I felt these beautiful reminders here might be soothing to everybody to know that that beautiful post that you put out, Brian, that for some was taken as very controversial, on the demurrage, I found very, very timely, energetically perfect, actually. It's a huge revealing, and I think even for us, if you want to say it, those in running in our circle, so to speak, for a lack of a better term, sometimes the truth being revealed is so expansive, so huge beyond what we even imagined it to be, that it sets us back on our heels, so to speak. But we don't necessarily have to respond and to react to it. Simply observe it. Simply
and
observe
be with it, which is what Heather has always said. Just be.
Yes.
Be and do.
Yes.
Do from the being. Don't do unless you be.
You know, it's funny. Linda said in the chat room, she said, Lydia, you could read the phone book and I would become completely peaceful.
Yes.
I feel the same way, Linda. You know, the simplicity of the whole being and doing thing really threw me off in the beginning when that whole line of conversation became like second language to so many of us. because it's just like a really common response was, well, be what and do what? And I think that that's our ego. It wants to know, well, who am I supposed to be and what am I supposed to do? And the simplicity of the idea about being and doing is what makes it so profound, which is just be who you are and do what you do. There is no, however you fill in those blanks are based on whatever it is that you want to put in there. And so long as it's set to the as long as it's set to the direction of doing what's in your own highest good and the highest good for all that is, there is no wrong fill in the blank for those. I wrote down a thought that I had the other day, and it says, things only become difficult when we forget how simple life should be. And it's so true, and I think that one of the things, to kind of go back to the original story that I told about my friend, is that, we get so caught up in our own minds about, we have this perception of our lives that we feel that if we're not doing something that is monumental, then we are not accomplished in our work. We have these perceptions, it's kind of like, maybe a good example would be how a 8-year-old envisions marriage and getting married. That it's this fairy tale thing and it's all good and no bad, and it's it's just this beautiful love story kind of deal. And the reality is, yes, there's some of that, but there's a lot of the contrast of that too, which is the nature of relationship. I think when we start to really know that no doing is too small, it all becomes sacred. Everything that we do is magic. Everything that we do is sacred. Every act that we perform is profound. And you if you want to there's a difference between setting a goal of wanting to do something and holding yourself to trying to accomplish that goal. But there's another thing. It's a whole other ballgame when you start to judge yourself based on your perception of your inability to accomplish something great. Because it's that illusion that we get tied up in. It's all great. It's all perfect. It's all, gosh, I hate to use this word because of the connotations that have been put behind it recently, but it's all divine. And when you start to really know that, I have days sometimes I'm busy, right? I got a lot of blogs put up and comments and emails that come through and Facebooks that come through. I try to respond to everybody. Sometimes I can't. But I have days where I just throw up my hands and say, you know what, there's no way I'm going to get to it all. I just don't really feel like doing anything today. And I'll just literally won't do a whole lot. And there was a time where in my life where I would have held my feet to the fire so hardcore that I would have felt guilty about not being productive. And it's that whole idea of judging everything that you do under a microscope as good, bad, or indifferent that gets us caught up into this trap or this illusion that we need to be constantly conquering the world. Because it doesn't have to be so complex. It doesn't have to be so complicated. Dream big. If you have something that you want to do and it's monumental, cool, go for it. But if for whatever the reason, the universe takes you down a different trail, honor that and bless it and thank the universe for whatever it has in store, because in every moment there's an infinite amount of abilities to create whatever it is that our hearts desire. And we forget that along the way. And I think this time it represents a great remembering of all of those things and our abilities to be co-creators of our existence. And when we realize that we are in control at all time, but we don't have to feel that we need to control every element. And gosh, what
that's a that's a good point, right?
Which one? Which one? I just made so many good points. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God.
I feeling like you have to be in control of every element, because that is simply not the case. It's just not the case at all. Just to allow things to be is perfect. It's okay. It's okay to allow that. And really, when you're in that place, you are more readily available and more clear, more coherent to go about your doing. If you come from that place, that knowing that you just do not have to react to everything that comes across the radar or what you believe other people feel you should be doing in that moment. To me, I think that that's of the utmost importance for us, because so many of us, as we've heard in our interactions with one another, is that we're feeling very stressed and a lot of anxiety, or some maybe even feeling terribly burned out. And this is a time for feeling absolute joy and contentment and love and just utter beautiful elation. This is where we are now. And the only way to feel that is just let it down, let the other stuff down, and just feel where we truly are at now. From the depth of your heart, just truly, truly feel it and own it and be happy to own it. And don't feel guilty about it. And laugh, 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 laugh. That's why I love you being so much, because you just laugh and laugh and laugh. And some people think, well, you might be flippant because I'm going through this or that, but it truly is the key. What did you say, Brian, the other day, that the young child said, remember to have fun?
Yeah,
that's what he remembered.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, it's interesting that you say this. I wrote out about 5 bullet points before I came on tonight, and one of them was, all is sacred in the eyes/consciousness of the one. Everything is sacred, absolutely everything. And when we remember this, it brings back that feeling and that sense of calmness, of being able to relax, of just being able to go into the flow and to move along, and no matter how fast it runs. In fact, it can be an absolute blast if it's going like gangbusters, and you've got whitewaters in front of you, or you're on the whitewaters right now. You just are like, woo! This is so cool, because there is nothing that can go wrong when you understand that everything is perfect.
Yep. You know what that also does too? Well said. Great idea, Mitch. We're gonna take a pause here real quick, and we're gonna do a collective one big deep breath. How's that sound? All right, everybody, stop what you're doing. A lot of exercises from BK tonight. Everybody, stop what you're doing.
We're gonna take some phone calls after this.
Okay. Everybody, stop what you're doing. Clear your mind. And we're gonna do one big group deep breath on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Doesn't that feel good? Yeah. You know what I was going to say before we take a call, Judy, not to jump right back in, because I realize everybody's so zen out right now.
What is it if you're not jumping back in?
I'm not jumping back in right away.
Okay.
Everyone be zen while I talk. What you just said about everything being sacred, I mean, think about what that does to the collective when everybody realizes that, what that does to conquering the whole illusion of lack of self-worth. How big of a problem has it been socially programmed into
probably
the human
largest
species, right?
Yeah, probably
social
the largest
conditioning.
one.
Social conditioning is what it is.
Right.
For people that have issues around self-worth. And when everybody remembers, because it's not about, I remember I used to think life was a school and it was all about learning lessons, and I've changed that thought to now it's still a school, but it's a school of remembering what we already know.
Right.
Self-worth, when everybody realizes that everything,
it's a meditation, actually,
is sacred. I remember asking Bob when we were getting ready to leave Morocco. I was like, Bob, what's your plan now? I was like, our lives are never going to be the same after this trip. And what are you going to do? What's your plan? And he goes, without skipping a beat, he goes, well, I don't really want to I'm not really going to do the whole job thing anymore. Really, all I want to do, I don't really have a plan. I just want to love as many people as possible. That's all I want to do. And there was a time where I would have been like, not so long ago, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, where I would have been like, dude, that's lazy. And I couldn't be more on the other end of the spectrum now. It's like from lazy to profound. You have somebody that knows themselves so well that all they want to do is bring love to the world and share that with as many people as possible. And they want to bring joy and bring smiles and bring happiness. And I mean, this is somebody that doesn't just talk the talk; he walks the walk. I mean, Bob is a dear friend of mine, and he has such a beautiful ability of sharing his joy with others. And it doesn't require a huge plan to do that. It just requires setting an intention and being it. Yes, and being it and doing it, and not getting caught up in all the
thing with this is where the whole being and doing thing to me makes so much sense. I mean, it really does, because once you let go, and this is about letting go. We've talked about this so many times, and this is a huge part of what you read to us just a little while ago so beautifully, Lydia, was that once we get to this place within ourselves that we know what we want and we're releasing all that is not that, and we choose to stay in the flow with that as much as absolutely possible and forgive ourselves when we every now and then slip back into an old pattern, which the forgiving itself is such a beautiful, beautiful thing, because it helps us step right back out and smile about it and love ourselves and become that thing that is the love that we are. Become that. Be that. It makes it so easy that when you are that, when you resonate that, the doing is an absolute non-effort. It is just a natural outflow of that actual beingness. And I know this because I live in that space a whole lot of the time, most of the time. And it feels wonderful. I'm finding myself, here and there with new situations, being challenged a little bit about allowing myself. But look what happens when I've got any kind of challenges at all. I find myself in a situation like this tonight, and I've got you beautiful people that I'm sitting here with, listening to myself tell myself what I already know and feel so wonderful about it. And I'm sitting here watching the chat room. Yes, I'm watching almost everything as much as I can multitask. And I see every single one of you beautiful beings out there saying the same things and feeding that energy. And I can feel your energy more than I can even catch up with the words. And that beingness to me is it's a oh wow, I can picture this. I feel like this is some sort of a diagram that I'm seeing. It's like it goes out and I see it mirroring back everywhere. And that is bliss. That is beautiful. That is profundity. That is that encompasses all that is when you live in the love that you are. The rest of it is almost, that's why time doesn't mean anything anymore. That's why, feeling like I've got to go do this and I've got to be that and I've got to, make this goal and do that thing and all of that stuff is like so not here for me. For me.
You know what you just helped me to remember right now, Judy, in that beautiful rant of yours? Wow, you're on a roll with the rant tonight. Jeez.
Oh, honey, I can't hold a candle to you.
Jeez, rantalicious, somebody said in the chat room. You helped me remember something that's really interesting. I've never even thought about it this way before. That when someone says something or you read something that resonates, it resonates because it unlocked a remembering of something that you already know. Mm-hmm. I've never thought about it that way.
Exactly.
Because that's all we're doing.
We're marrying ourselves.
We're marrying ourselves. We're helping each other to remember things that we already know. Wow. Aha moment.
Woohoo!
Kodak. Let me take a picture with my fingers. All right, you want to bring on some calls? It's a good time.
Sure.
Call in, folks. Talk to us.
Okay, we've got some calls right here. I think we've got Mitch right here. Come on, Mitch. Tell us what you've been dying to tell us. Are you there?
Is it?
Is this Mitch?
Yeah. Hello?
Hey, Mitch, are you Mitch777 in the chat room?
Yeah, that's me.
That's you, Mitch. Okay,
that's my alias.
Hey, I want to.
Hey, Brian.
Mitch, before you ask me whatever question is about to come up, I want to know what channel messages you brought through the dogs today, if anything at all.
Well, actually today they said, bah! They started speaking goat. I'm getting goat messages now, and the dog messages are just
screaming like goats.
They're screaming like goats. They thought this stuff was so funny, and I'm just like, come on, be serious.
Okay, I'm sorry. I had to throw that out there. That was hilarious last night, man. I just want to thank you.
Of course.
I think I dreamed about channeling dogs last night. But go ahead. What's your question?
I don't have a question. I have a little piece of spoken word that I'd like to read, if that's okay.
Go for it.
Okay? All right.
Yes.
I call this the beginning. So can we take another group breath real quick?
Sure.
Yep. Why don't you guide us?
All right. Breathe in and release. Okay. So I call this the beginning. What came first, the child or the mother? Was it evolution or was it two lovers? These questions have no answers. They only spawn confusion. Some call it the man, and this is part of his illusion, an illusion to repress us and keep us in fear. Catastrophists call it the end, but maybe a new beginning's near. Within the grasp of our hands can be a master plan to feed our hungry souls and give back the land to its rightful owners, not some capitalists. The war is in our mind, so put down your fists. If we use our minds, we definitely will see there is only oneness. This land again is free. Because I'm tired. I'm tired of working 9 to 5 and not being able to have a life. Why does it have to be so hard just to make things work? I'm willing to enable, you're willing to enable, and this seems absurd. I'm not trying to preach and tell everybody the way, but I think you realize this isn't a game we want to play. We all know it's wrong, so let's figure out what's right. A place we could start is getting synchronized. Tempo is where this song will begin. Forget about our enemies because we need way more friends. We love our children and so do others. We all have fathers. We all have mothers. We all were born and we all will die. But there's not going to be a change unless we take the time. Basic necessities, that might be the first thing. Food, shelter, love. Get rid of the kings and queens. What more do we need than the things that sustain life? Get rid of our egos and forget about our pride. Black, yellow, white, purple, blue, green, brown, all the same inside, and it's really not profound. Yeah, I know you've already heard this, but did you really hear who rules your life? Is it the man? Is it the fear? The fear of taking a chance, the fear of losing face, the fear that it won't work and you'll get slapped in the face. But the real slap in the face is that we lived a lie that was created by the elite. It took a lot of money. It took a lot of time. I know that we don't have the time, but if we don't, then who will? Think about our children and their dreams being able to be fulfilled, because what we produce is nothing compared to the waste. And if that well runs dry, it's going to be a bitter, bitter taste. It's not so hard. It's like growing a plant. Just fill the hole, put the seed underneath the land, add some light and water, and it'll begin to cultivate. The fruits of our efforts will be sweet, something we can appreciate. There will be something to show for our hard-earned harvest. We figured out a way to kill. Can we figure out a way to live? And that's the true test. There's one thing we have in common, and as different as we may be, it's life. It's like a great big pie, and don't we all deserve a piece? We do. I think I'm going to have some cherry pie. What do you guys think?
Wow.
Cherry pie, blueberry pie,
Mitch,
rhubarb,
email that
any
to me?
type of pie. Let's have a piece.
That was awesome.
I love chocolate cream pie. Can you email that to me so I can blog that?
Of course. Should I?
Do you know how to email?
I don't know what a email is.
What you said.
Where to,
oh my
Brian?
God, Judy, you're so lucky you're not sitting right now.
Oh, I just.
You get shoved out of your chair.
I owe you so many side head slaps that just took one of them away.
Wow. All right, Judy. Judy, you're on timeout. 5 minutes silence. All right, Mitch.
Wait, young man. You're my daughter's age. I can.
Children, class. All right, class, settle down. Brian's trying to speak now.
I think Judy was a circus clown in a previous lifetime. Did I just say that out loud? Hey, Mitch, my email is briankellysblog@gmail.com.
Oh my God, Brian, you're so important.
Gotcha.
That was
Mitch,
really good.
All right,
Mitch, that was awesome, man. So timely, beautiful message. Send it to me, and I'll blog it, and I'll hook you up with some credit on there, and then you can keep them coming, my man, because the wisdom just comes through you, bro. Keep calling in. We love you.
Yeah, I used to work at a radio station. Like, you got my number there. If you knew anybody on the 5D Media Network, I used to write commercial scripts, and I just constantly research the stuff like you guys do, just looking for peace and feeling peace as well. But if anybody wanted to start a radio show, I would be so down with it, and I work hard.
There you go. All you got to do is email Lisa. She's the producer and shot caller, and
cool.
I say that if you want it bad enough, the opportunity will manifest itself. Oh, and by the way, tell your dog.
Ooh,
that means namaste. That means namaste. And ciao.
All right. Ciao, you guys. Hey, Lydia, thank you so much. Your voice, it makes my spine tingle. Your voice is so beautiful.
Thank you, Mitch. I appreciate that. And love and blessings right back to you. Thank you for everything you share. It's beautiful.
Thanks, Lydia. You guys have a good night.
Thanks.
Good night.
Bye, Mitch.
You too, Mitch.
Bye.
Thanks for calling.
I bet you don't.
Brian, how much caffeine is in your diet right now?
I drank 8 cups of coffee today.
Oh gosh, no wonder. Okay, so we have. I think we've got Randy on the line too. Let's bring him on.
Uh-oh.
Is that you, Randy?
That's me.
Randy. Hey, bud. How's it going?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. What's going on, bud?
What's up, Randy?
Not a lot. I was asking Judy. I guess I get to see her this weekend.
Yes, you do.
What?
I'm going.
Judy, you're going?
When? Yes,
Oh.
I am.
Wow.
I haven't had a chance to say anything because somebody's been like ranting all over. So no. Yes, I'm actually going. I'm writing down with the wonderful Jerry Jones. Thank you so much, Jerry, for doing this and making this so easy for me to make this happen. And we won't get there until like around midnight or so on Saturday night. So we're going to miss out on the dinner with you guys on Saturday. But we'll have Sunday, and I'll have Monday. I'm going to have hopefully some time to hang out with somebody because Jerry's going to move on with something else and come pick me back up. So it'll just turn out the way it turns out.
I'll hang out with you.
Okay, cool.
I'll hang out with you. I'm looking forward to it. I just wanted to say that's my joy this week.
Oh, good. This is going to be so much fun. Linda just told me that they've got 33 confirmed.
Okay,
so,
awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Linda after the show.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about what's going on. So, because there are 33, I don't know how many are. I imagine quite a few.
Well, we're having dinner Saturday around 2 to 2:30, and I think there's going to be a time of sharing at that point. And then Sunday afternoon, we're having a bonfire around dusk until whenever. So it's just going to be a lackadaisical weekend, and we'll just do whatever we feel like doing.
I think they call that go with the flow. It's my favorite thing to do, so it sounds perfect.
Exactly.
And I'll get my twangy Southern accent on for you.
Oh, you do that.
Because I'm good at that. Because I grew up with that. It's just been, it hangs out there when anyway.
Well, I'm sure you won't have no problem having it around me.
Not at all. No, I'm going to have fun with it.
Randy, is Ricky going to be there too?
Ricky's coming Sunday, yes.
Relaxing.
Ricky is coming on Sunday.
Awesome.
Too. Oh, dang it. You guys bring that little party.
Hop on an airplane and come on over.
Over to Southern California, please.
Northern California, sweetie.
Northern
Get it right.
California.
I'm sorry. Northern Carolina.
North Carolina, exactly.
Judy, what frequency are you on right now?
Obviously not the same one you were on.
Hey, Randy, have so much fun, man. And please, make sure that whoever is out there and everybody that's listening to this call, take a lot of pictures, please. I'll put them all over all the blogs. I just want to live vicariously through, who knows, maybe I'll make a surprise visit, but I want to live vicariously through all the pictures that are taken. So please do that for me.
We'll do it.
That'll happen.
All right, Randy. Have an amazing
that you
weekend,
wanted
my
to share with us other than that, since Brian's trying to shush you off here?
Oh, gosh.
We haven't even heard him say anything. Did you want to say anything?
Randy, what do you think about being the new co-host for the Enjoy the Show?
I'd love that. I'd be honored.
Be careful what you ask for, Brett.
I would like to.
All right, I'm gonna be.
That was fun.
Quiet. Go ahead, Randy.
I would like to say to Lydia how much I appreciate her sharing with us, because I feel like that it's completely from the heart, and you can't get any better than that.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Randy, and you guys have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time coming up. I know when we as brothers and sisters get together like that, there is just nothing greater than that. The energy that is created, the love, all of that. So besides the beings that will actually be there with you, of course, all of us are with you in heart and mind and beautiful energy to back you and sustain you as well.
Thank
yeah,
you
we're
so
going to have
much.
a really good time. This is going to be
I can't wait to hang out with Judy.
I'm a loud and crazy girl. No, I'm not.
There'll be some stories to tell on the future shows, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm so jealous. You guys are making me more jealous by the moment. Wow.
Keep talking, Randy. Keep talking.
I might be your replacement, Brian. You might better be looking out.
Randy, what kind of profound wisdom do you have to share here with us? You didn't call in last night, so you got to give us a golden nugget, my man.
You want me to share something?
Randy, sorry. By the way, I got that book. It was important.
You did get it.
I did get it. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I've got it. I know it's amazing. Go ahead.
What I'm going to share tonight is from the chapter of the Ten Commandments, and this is what Glenda asked Jesus and got started in the conversation, but she says, I felt compelled to ask him, if he would explain to me the root of love in each one of the Ten Commandments. Without hesitation, he began to explain. The first law of Moses states, you shall have no other gods before me. This is the commandment which exalts our one source and creates unity for all. There is but one God, and the knowable presence of our one source is love. Divine love is prior cause, and nothing preceded it. From love, all was created. As an offspring or an aspect of God, you have no prior cause except your Creator. Therefore, love is your name, and love stands as prior cause in your life for anything you ever seek to accomplish. By honoring the Creator as love and first cause, you also strengthen the love in yourself, also to be a true cause of action. Any action not generated by love will take you away from your source of power. Remember, love commands the adamantine particles, and the one spirit resonates to love. Where there is love, there is potential, there is hope, and there is God. This is the primary reality and consideration for all creation. Nothing precedes it in importance, in power, or in truth. Our one source is the basis of all unity.
Wow.
That's awesome, Randy. That's so profound. And Brian, quit scratching.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know.
Oh my God, Judy. Oh, that serious, like.
I said that out of love. I really did.
She's got that serious, like, nagging big sister energy thing going on right now.
You started it, Jude.
Just saying.
I can hold my own.
Wow. So can you guys imagine Randy at, like, the head of a long banquet table, like, standing up and just giving, like, the most beautiful speech? Like, that's what I see is at the dinner, like, Randy getting up and doing his awesome Southern Belle charm. Southern charm. And just dazzling and expanding the entire group. Randy, God, one of these days I'm going to meet you face to face, man. And when we do, I got a big, huge Brian Kelly bear hug for you.
I'm going to hold you to that, Brian.
Randy, have fun this weekend, man.
Thank you, Randy.
I will.
That was so perfect. And Brian, you were when a couple years ago, before my son went to live with his father, and I would say something like, God, and he would go, yes. He's so funny. My son is one of the funniest people I've ever met in my whole life. He's hilarious. No, he's not coming with me. He's 15. He's too cool to hang out with his mom. He's actually not too cool, though, to be hanging out with his dad, and they're going on a cruise for the whole week. So, dude has got it made.
He's super funny. Apple fell really far from the tree.
Exactly. Oh, my goodness. Thank you, sweetheart. Thanks for calling in, and I can't wait to meet you. Just a couple more days.
Exactly.
And everybody give Jerry Jones a big hug and thank you for making this happen for me. I am going to be bringing my tarot cards with me and my jewelry because this is my work weekend. That's the only time I kind of make my way through the next week. So hopefully we'll be able to make my way through the next week with maybe some of you having some tarot card readings. Wouldn't that be fun?
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Okay, and I really do suck at promoting myself, but whatever.
Well, you did a good job. All right, you want me to do it for you? Judy gives awesome tarot card readings. She gave me one. It was really cool. I highly recommend her. She does incredible work. That's all you're going to get from me, though. I'm not going to give you any more than that.
How much is it for a tarot reading?
We'll talk about that when I get down there. It's really a love offering. So whatever is available and you're able to do, and I'll tell you kind of the range. And even if you can't, if there are some people who are kind of in my shoes, which every little thing. But so it is what it is, and those who want a tarot card reading will get it, whether they can pay for it or not. And those who can pay for it, I will be very honored and grateful. And I'll be honored and grateful anyway.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's how
I feel honored
now.
and grateful to have you coming.
Thank you. I'm so excited.
Bye, Randy.
All right. See you, sweet.
Bye, Randy.
Bye, y'all.
Randy brings out the southern accent in me, too. Bye, Randy.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
See ya. All right. See you soon.
Wow.
See you soon. All right, we've got another caller here. We're running through these 2 hours really fast. Sign me up, Judy. Maggie, yes. Woo! All right. You're signed up, sweetheart. Okay, so we've got area code 661. Area code 661, hi.
661, that's the Skype number.
Oh, is it really? Area code 661, yeah, you there? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Answering service. Hello. Wow, my son is it sounds very garbled.
Hello?
Anybody there? 661.
No.
661? No.
661 must be off to the potty or something. So we'll
wow.
grab him back later.
TMI. All right. Anybody else?
I see Jerry on here, but she doesn't have her hand raised. So Jerry, if you want to talk, raise your hand so I can tell that you're on.
I want a poem.
You want a poem?
Jerry still owes me a poem.
Ooh.
Jerry,
you want to come on? I'm gonna bring you on, and if you don't want to talk, right. Come on, Jerry. Hi, Jerry.
Hello.
Hi there. Sweetheart.
Hello.
Hey, listen, I can't put my hand up because I'm on Skype. They don't let you do that. Just being called in on Skype makes you volunteer to speak.
Oh.
Jerry, everyone.
Hey, Jerry. How are you, sweetheart?
I am
Jerry,
great.
you
I'm
really
fantastic.
have to spend multiple hours in the car with you.
Oh, no, it's going to be such a bore, isn't it? It's going to be so boring.
Oh, wow. You deserve such a big hug for that. Oh, my God. That's how you're going to do it.
It's just, I got to put up with these things sometimes, It's it can be a misery for me, and I have to put up with it. And if I look a bit grumpy when I get there, you'll know why.
Right. Well, at least she'll have a really nice, good night's sleep before she has to face everybody. Although she will be in the same room with me, so I'm not promising anything.
Oh my God! Wow, double dipping on the chair.
How much sleeping is going to take place? So you're giggling all the time.
Well, after 6 hours in the car, and you already having driven another 4 or 5, we might actually be able to sleep.
Wow, Jerry, you're doing a 12-hour turn? Oh, my God, that's commitment.
Yeah, pretty much. 11, 12 hours, about that. It's about 700 miles, I drive, I'm used to going on long trips, so it's not really. I drove to Michigan a couple of weeks ago, and that was like 900 and something each way, so.
Wow. Well, usually I'd say it's really relaxing to do a long drive, but considering Judy's going to be in the car with you, I don't know how we're going to turn out that way.
It's the hardest part, but.
You guys would be very surprised to know just how much I'm actually incredibly quiet for a big part of the day.
Really?
I seriously need. It is true. Now, I'm not so sure it will be with you. I don't know, but typically speaking, unless I go out and I'm out and about, I am quiet. I have to have my downtime. Like after we get back, I'll probably spend 2 or 3 days. Well, no, I'll have my show the next evening, but I'll probably spend 2 or 3 days of just absolute quiet time.
That's nice.
Because strangely enough, believe it or not, I am a borderline introvert. I replenish by myself. I don't replenish like being around people. I love being around people. I have a great time, but I replenish being by myself and quiet.
That's the perfect way. I do that too.
So
I do that too.
Yeah.
Idiot.
Brian's going, yeah, not me. I'll just shut up. I'm not like you guys.
I'm not going to say a word for the rest of the show. I'm on strike, everyone. Sorry.
5D Media Network. I don't know who's on that. Who is 5D Media Network going, Judy, quiet, and there's a big laugh, rolling head.
Oh, someone made their username. Someone made their screen name 5. I thought that's been you the whole time.
Oh, no, it's not.
Someone's like, yay, Judy. I'm like, Judy, why are you saying yay to yourself? It's really weird.
Oh, it's Carmel.
Oh.
She signed in because of the show tomorrow.
That's right. She logged in.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was like I was looking at it. They were like rooting you on during your rants, and it was really confusing. It's like David Wilcock referring to his own work as epic. So funny. Oh wow, I thought you were crazy. I'm just kidding. No, it's just.
Just for a second, huh?
Just for a second.
Oh, gosh, don't make me laugh too much. I'm going to have to forget it.
Judy, or not Judy.
Lydia?
Who am I talking to
Yes.
right now? Lydia, are you there?
I'm here.
Jerry.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, just making sure you're there. Jerry, do you have a poem for us?
I do actually. I've got a really kind of one here because I made up a word.
Mm.
You made up a word?
Yeah. Well, I think I did.
Awesome.
I think I did. I was trying to, how when we're talking, when we don't like to say that the One People's a movement.
Mhm.
We don't like being a movement. So I was like, well, what are we? When you explain to somebody, what are we? What are we doing? We're the One People. We're having awakening and whatever. But I was like, what are we in? What are we doing? And I decided we're inflowment. It's an inflowment. What we're doing together is an inflowment. Inflowment means moving in one's flow, moving together in harmony, synchronicity, and neutrality, in one's perfect flow, basically. So I wrote a little poem called Inflowment.
Cool.
Okay, let's hear it.
You tell.
We have found ourselves in one wildly rare moment where we are now experiencing the perfect inflowment. To all open minds, it has become clear that the shift we've been awaiting is indeed here. Love is the answer. We've all heard it said. This sort of quotation rolls round in one's head. But love is truly the answer, and it can heal all. Give love and receive it, and you will be well. Humanity's inflowment will help us find peace. All illness and disease, this will release. It's time to be in flow and to become content. Boundlessness is natural when we reach inflowment.
I love it. And you can even say, hey, excuse me, I'm in a flowment.
Yes, I'm
having a flowment.
No, it's not flowment. Okay, I want to hear it in a sentence.
It's like having a moment, but I'm having a flowment.
Yeah, but you're inflowment.
Yes, I know. We can do both.
I'm still laughing at Judy referring to herself as an introvert. Inflowment.
I like that.
That was very original. That's a very, very new, off the press.
I like that.
Also one called Gratitude too. Here's a nice one.
Okay.
Hold on, I'm not ready.
Let's give thanks.
Okay, I'm ready.
Today. Let's have some fun. Yeah, let's hop, skip and play. Because this day and each one is made to enjoy, and with all sorts of ideas of things to do, we can toy. So, who makes you happy? Who makes you sad? Who makes you joyful, and who makes you mad? Are you thinking of 4 people, of 3 or of 2? Well, the one who is responsible for your feelings is you. Look toward everything and say to yourself, when I'm grateful and happy, it's good for my health. Yes, give thanks and be grateful for all that you have, and remember we're here to give, love and live. There you are.
Nice.
Love that.
That's sweet, isn't it?
I like that. I was having a flowment there. I know. Wouldn't that be amazing? Sorry.
I know. I'll have to pick something for her. We'll have to have a little reading. Cause imagine them with Lydia's beautiful voice.
Oh, Jerry, you are the perfect one to read your beautiful works. Nobody could do it better.
Well, thank you. But your voice, they would come over beautifully too. Maybe you'd be second best reading my work.
Thank you.
That sounds wonderful. Oh, thank you, sweetie.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. Well, I look forward to the next thing we're on to do, and that's driving. We'd be zipping along.
The next thing we're on to do is listening to your new show tomorrow that you are co-host with
Carmel. Yes, that's going to be fun.
Well, promote it, Jerry. Now you get your little spot right now.
It's all very exciting, Carmel came up with this wonderful idea, and I love the title, The Spiral Journey. And Carmel found a beautiful picture to go with it. We've actually got a Facebook page called The Spiral Journey, and we're going to be talking a lot about healing, natural healing, and working with ourselves to get to where we want to be by, going through processes. Linda, who's also on the show, she's a energy healer herself. She's got a lot of experience. She does lots of kinesiology and stuff like that. And, of course, as you all know, Carmel does the numbers and everything, so she's brilliant. And, like Carmel just pointed out, it's about personal accountability and now presence. And we've actually got a description of it, which I could actually read out, which wouldn't be a bad thing. So I'm going to just put that up. Here we go. The Spiral Journey Radio Show. So here's what it is. In search through our physical world for cosmic answers, the overlapping of resources, modalities, and methodologies of self-discovery and personal presence that is the shift is highly recommended and evidently encouraged by all that is, or the infinite availability of such tools wouldn't be there for the asking. Our eternal spiral journey into our fully conscious presence and beyond is not based on the illusions of time, but rather the focus and self-accountability that we hold as creator being. The lovely and powerful Yin panel, Yin only, welcomes calls for the sharing of uplifting personal alignment stories and personal timing or healing questions for the benefit of the topic and listeners. Numerologist Carmel Migliori, I hope I spelled that, pronounced that right, Carmel, joyfully brings forward her natural intuitive gifts and a lifetime of experiential observations and studies in mysticism, spirituality, and holistic healing, using the gifts and opportunities that are present for everyone, using the simple language of the number frequencies in time as a powerful tool for shifting focus into the power and practice of now presence. Kinesiologist Linda Wojcik has been working with the energetic frequencies for more than 30 years in private consultations and workshops, assisting with personal evolution using the finer energies of crystals and flower remedies for emotional, spiritual alignment, and herbal and supplemental bump-ups for physical balance. Poet and animal advocate Jerry Jones brings her infectious optimism and her poetic license to triangulate the discussion and include her experiences with animals and her own journey into physical and mental alignment with her limitless joy.
That sounds like an awesome show. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds awesome.
It's good.
And what does it premiere tomorrow? At what time?
Tomorrow
what time
at the same time,
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Eastern, which translates to whatever time anybody started listening to the Enjoy show and wherever they are.
You can figure it out after a while, Brian.
But once it's the same time as what most of the other shows are. So whatever time it is for you in your part of the world, it's 8 o'clock Eastern. Tomorrow. So we're all really excited. Yes, and Carmel's picking really music and stuff like that, so it's going to be fun.
Cool, awesome.
And then we'll hit the road. We'll hit
the road. All right.
My car's called Zipmore, and Zipmore zips a lot. He's very zippy, so we have a lot of fun.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I got 2 words for you. I got two words for you, Jerry.
What's
Good
that?
luck with your trip.
Oh, thank you.
I recommend earplugs.
It's going to be a lot of jolly fun.
Yeah, because we're going to replay the show, and most of it is with Brian and his band.
Oh yeah, what did you see Brian's new name?
Oh yes, I did. Yes. Go ahead and tell him.
Brian Rantalot Kelly.
Mr. Rantalot?
Rantalot.
I love it, Jay. I keep redesigning the tattoo for my face.
Sounds rather grand. He's a bit, he must be related to Lancelot, so he's Brian Rantalot.
Oh, there you go. Hey, Jerry, you just gave yourself the inspiration to create a poem for me that you that you still are going to be putting together, and no rush, but I'll take that.
Yeah. I will do that. That will be a lot of fun. Oh, we could have a real laugh. Yeah, and Judy can help me. Yeah, we'll have fun.
Yes. Oh, I would love
there
to.
You go.
We'll
yeah.
on our trip.
On the drive.
Again,
right on the way along.
Ask for Brian.
Yeah. Thanks, Jerry.
Oh,
Have fun this weekend.
Okay.
See you, Jerry. See you soon.
All right.
Good luck tomorrow. I'm sure it'll be great.
Okay, thanks. All right.
Bye.
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 Oh, Lord.
Wow. It is a giggle show.
Oh, dear.
You're right. You're psychic.
I'm psychic.
You're psychic.
That's what I always say.
You're psychic?
I make up words all the time, and that's one that I always use. My son, he loves that, actually. But, yeah, when people say, how did you know that? I'll just say, I'm psychic. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it is funny.
I love new words.
Oh, I have scads of them. My dad was a word smith of sorts. So it kind of came along, and my son does the same thing. It's pretty funny. Oh, Lord.
Wow. 20 minutes. Any more callers?
No, I think we got them all. We had a few that came on and popped right back off. Pretty sure I've got everybody on here that has wanted to talk. They were probably Skypic, yes.
Oh, let me make a quick announcement, if I may. Other than, well, let's see. We have the new Spiral Journey show tomorrow. I'm going to be anybody that's in the Sedona area or has the ability to travel to the Sedona area. I am going to be doing a workshop at the Ascension Rising conference with Blina that she's putting on out in Sedona. Cool. It's from November 1st through the 3rd in Sedona, and I'm going to be putting a flyer up on my blog. I don't know what I'm going to workshop about yet, so I have to kind of think about some ideas about all this stuff.
I'm sure you won't be at a loss for words.
Thanks, Judy. Yeah, I'm just going to get up there and rant. I'm not going to provide anything.
You know, it'll be perfect. It always is.
So that's November 1st to the 3rd. Anybody that wants information on that right now, before I put it out on my blog.
Yeah, Linda said, now I'm jealous. Me too, actually.
galacticu.com. And November 1st to the 3rd. I would love to meet everybody there in person and come out and see me, and it's going to be loads of fun. So that's my announcement.
Cool.
I've not been to Sedona in years. You should go, Linda. It's beautiful.
I've never been.
Oh, I went to Sedona last winter. Well, first of all, I went last summer, and it was 110 degrees, beautiful red rocks, amazing energy vortexes. It was so magical, unbelievable energy out there. And then to experience the contrast of Sedona, we went in the wintertime, and it was really cold. And we stayed at a really nice hotel. It's off season there, so you can get really good deals. And we had views of the red rocks out of our sliding glass window, and there's a little balcony, and it was just beautiful, epic views of the red rocks from our room. And we went to bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and I woke up as the sun was rising, and I opened up the curtains, and it snowed in the middle of the night, and snow was covered all over the red rocks. It's just all the snow that fell in the night. We were there for first snow. It was epic.
Mitch just made me laugh. He said, November 1st through 3rd, I'm there like gray poop on my shoes. That's what he said.
Oh, my God. Mitch, you're more ridiculous than me, man. I got to tell you, that's rare. That's so rare. I mean, between you and
I
Judy.
think it would be a fun contest.
So fun. All right.
Okay, actually, I think we do have another caller. This does not look like an actual phone number, but it sounds like fun, so should we try? We've got
mystery caller.
Okay. Mystery caller, who is this? Hello? Hello?
No.
Anybody there?
They're shy. It's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Lydia, with your voice, let them know that it's okay.
Oh, everything's fine. It's okay. In spite of Judy and Brian seeming crazy, it's okay.
It's the game we're playing. Oh, my goodness.
I just had a realization. You know you're crazy if Lydia says so. Lydia.
Exactly. Thank you, Lydia. Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow. By the way, Judy, you asked. There's one supplement I'm taking right now. It's the equivalent of 3 cups of coffee. So yes.
How many did you take today?
I've drank the equivalent of 9 cups of coffee today.
Okay, I was going to say I'm just pretending that it's actually any different than any other time.
My stomach hurts again 2 nights in a row. Oh wow. Okay. All right. What are we doing for the next 14 minutes?
We're gonna let Lydia do some more talking, I think. Thank you, Lydia, so much for joining us. And wow, I think I unleashed my the part of me that needed to do some major laughing and letting go. And thanks for letting me do that at your expense, Brian, because that was fun.
Oh wow, gosh, you're a mirror. I'm your mirror. So thank you for making fun of yourself. And,
yeah, no problem.
Just being ridiculous for no point or reason whatsoever. It's just what you do, Judy, and that's why I love you.
Because I'm the perfect mirror for you, sweetheart. That's why you know me so well.
Mitch, let's get this. Okay, Mind of the Stars is going to come out if this show doesn't end soon. Just saying. I want to try an experiment one of these days. I want Lydia to grab the phone book from her house, and I want her open up to a random page and read it, and I just want to hear just how beautiful it is reading the phone book.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be worth the time. Well, it would be, but she's got so many other beautiful things to say. I've had some wonderful conversations with Lydia in the last week, and we're never at a loss for words, are we, girlfriend?
No, beautiful conversations, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Very grateful for the dialogue back and forth, and just equally as grateful for the beautiful time this evening and all the laughter, because it's so cathartic, it's so good for us, right?
Cheering.
It's such a beautiful release, and when it happens organically like this, it's just a very, very beautiful thing, because we're happy just because, and that's enough.
Yeah.
So it's perfect. I've got this this beautiful, I guess it's kind of a that this gentleman, his name is Ted Loader, wrote on laughter, and it's so, I think it's really beautiful. He puts here, laughter is a holy thing. It is as sacred as music and silence and solemnity, maybe more sacred. Laughter is like a prayer, like a bridge over which creatures tiptoe to meet each other. Laughter is like mercy. It heals. When you can laugh at yourself, you are free. And he says, being goes hand in hand with laughter right from the start. So I think, how appropriate, how beautiful to look at laughter in that vein, because it truly is. It's cathartic. It's healing. When we can laugh at ourselves and with each other, it's especially in momentous times like we're in now, it's truly, truly just medicine for our souls. So you guys are very healthy people.
I think you're right about that. I really, really do. And I know that was, first of all, that was really beautiful, and that was completely right on. And, I think when people allow themselves to be in that place of joy, and knowing that they're not doing anything to truly harm another, but to tweak another is really a lot of fun, especially if they're up for it and tweaking back. And they know, it's so much fun to have fun with life. And why not find bliss? Why not find joy? Why not create that from within as often as we can? Because it is just so incredibly healthy to do so. So, yes, I agree.
Agreed.
Absolutely. Let's see, what year was it? I believe it would be 2012. I was actually gifted or requested, asked to be a guardian of a beautiful sacred indigenous. And this piece is in the form of what it is actually is a tortoise shell, a beautiful tortoise shell, and with some beautiful intricate leather weavings on it attached to it, and like a long neck cord on it. And this beautiful piece has been utilized in many, many indigenous ceremonies. And so when I was asked and gifted this piece, the timing was such, it's when I was going to Sedona to be in ceremony with these beautiful indigenous elders that were coming from all over the world. And so I was asked to please bring this piece into ceremony, that it was important to do so. So, and the name of this piece that was gifted belonged to some beautiful sun dancers, which maybe some other time we'll get a chance to talk about what actually the practice of sun dancing is. But this piece that I was gifted is called Laughing Medicine. And the energy around this piece, when it was worn in ceremony or held about in ceremony, people were, told about it, told the story about it. But the fact is that to bring it in was to show that whenever you're possibly in ceremony or beings gathering together for a very important situation, when laughing medicine enters, in other words, it was a reminder to bring levity to the occasion, to bring laughter, and by all means, never take ourselves too seriously. There's a time and a season and a moment for everything, of course. So being in ceremony or doing what we do, there is an importance and there is seriousness to it. But laughing medicine is the reminder to be joyful and to laugh. And it is by that,
go ahead.
By that process that we actually accomplish what we went into ceremony or into conversation or into meditation like we're going to do, that we accomplish this. So, and I still have laughing medicine with me here in my home until it's time, possibly to pass it on or whatever may be the case. But I thought, since we had a moment, I might share that with you. That's truly how important laughter is, even that the indigenous thought of that also, to bring that in.
Absolutely. Have you heard of laughing yoga?
Yes, I have.
I heard it's really fun. I haven't attended one yet, but I've heard a session yet. But I've heard that it's just an absolute blast.
They have a sketch. They have a clip in the documentary called Happy, which is absolutely amazing. It's on Netflix. That shows a guy hosting a laughing yoga class. So funny. I love the indigenous culture stuff, Lydia. I actually did a radio interview on Tuesday with a guy found me on Facebook, and he found my blog, and he wanted to interview me on the radio, and it actually ended up getting syndicated to 44 other stations. But this guy is a Native American, and we got into talking a little bit about indigenous cultures, and it's such a interesting thing to think about, because the indigenous cultures, like if you look to some of the indigenous cultures that are still just untouched by cities and stuff like that, societies that have been developed around them, like in the deep bush, as Lisa would call it in Australia. Some people might look at cultures like that as primitive and undeveloped, but think about how much wisdom that their culture represents. I mean, some of these cultures, I think it's they
haven't been taught out of their wisdom.
Yeah, exactly. And they don't have words. I can't remember who told me this the other day, but they don't have a word that describes good or bad or right or wrong.
Yeah, I heard that too.
It's not even in their vocabulary to judge something as good or bad or right or wrong. And I think that
was Bob.
Probably Bob. Yeah, I think that we have so much more to learn from them than they do from us, because they represent the total lack of material conditioning. So beautiful, absolutely. I'm reading a book right now on shamanism. It's absolutely fascinating.
Oh, awesome! What is it?
Oh shoot, it's not in my room. I just started it. I can't remember it. But if you want to borrow it when I'm done, I'll send it to you. It's about medicine journeys, ayahuasca journeys.
Ooh, yeah, I'm very interested in doing that actually sometime.
Yeah, done it.
I want to go to Peru and do it. I have a friend who actually has been there about 6 or 7 times and knows a shaman that he feels extremely comfortable with, who's been, doing this very uncommercially,
really?
very naturally. Yes, the guy.
So synchronistic. I was looking into it today, and Judy, we'll talk offline. I want to get their contact info because I want to go down there. I want to go to Peru.
Yeah,
I want to get a group.
The guy's name is Don Juan, believe it or not.
Don Juan DeMarco?
Don Juan. I know. It's like that's his name. But I can get the information for you for sure.
Does he wear a gold ring on his pinky finger?
and he wears his shirt opened all the way to the belly.
Oh wow. Oh gosh. Please. You just have to keep roping this dialogue back to ridiculous, don't you? Yeah, we should get a group together and go down to Peru.
I know, definitely.
Wow. Okay, next, setting the intention, everybody. Next great adventure to Peru, to the Amazon, to a little city called Iquirus. I was looking it up today. Wow, we really got to talk.
Okay.
Interesting. So synchronistic.
Beautiful.
We're to the last few minutes, so why don't we leave it to our special guests to have any closing thoughts of just any beautiful message that you'd like to share. I'm sure that everybody just wants to hear your voice at the very least one more time before we close out here this evening. Lydia? I'm not referring to Judy, by the way. I'm referring to Lydia.
Well, just thank you so much for being so gracious, Brian. Judy, thank you again for allowing me the opportunity to be in conversation with you and with everybody. It's truly warms my heart. I'm so appreciative, and I look so forward to what we're moving into this week with our meditation, and just say to everyone to just remember to stay in the stillness of your heart and be easy with oneself at this point, and try and lay other things aside as much as possible and be in that beautiful flow. So that we can really, really, with the purest of intentions, do what we're intending to do in this moment. And that is easing in, relaxing into where we are in this moment. And then Friday we'll see how beautifully we can continue to I hesitate to say pull it in because that kind of makes it feel like it's not here.
We'll be in the flowment.
Yes, there you go. Jerry's word, in the flowment. That's perfection, actually. So I look forward to...
We'll meet in the
place.
flowment.
Yes.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Beautifully said, Lydia. Thank you for so much for your time and your energy and your
being
beauty
love.
and your love and just the nature of who you are. We're so grateful. We're so just blessed to have you as a guest on the show tonight and always.
Love you, Lydia.
Thank you. You want to do the lineup real quick, Judy? Yeah, love you too, Lydia.
Yes. Okay. So we've got tomorrow the new show, which Jerry just talked about. Friday we've got the Remembering with Matthew. Saturday the Transitioning. Sunday Elemental Evolution. Monday the One People, and Tuesday the Collective Imagination. And again Wednesday, enjoy the show. And I can't wait to see all of you people in a few days.
The meditation. So the meditation.
Oh, meditation on Friday at 9 o'clock.
At 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be right after the 1 hour Remembering show. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome. Thank you, everybody. We love you. Namaste.
Thank you. Good night.
See you soon. Good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Come on, you know I get the last word in here, Judy.
Yeah, usually not.
I get the last word. Close it down. It's mine.
If I close it down, I'll be closing down on Lydia too. So Lydia, I just want to thank you so much for joining us. I think it turned out to be just a beautiful show, and I love you, and I love your energy, and I love the sharing that you did tonight. It was perfection, really.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judy. Thank you, sweetie. Like I said, we have each other's heart. we're in sync. So I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yes, and
Lydia.
don't get you have a beautiful, safe trip, and then I look forward to hearing all about it.
Okay, I can't wait to tell you about it. So
Okay.
we'll definitely do that. Love you, girl. Talk to you soon, okay?
Right, sweetie. Good night, Brian. Love to you.
Good night, Lydia. You too. Love you
Okay,
too.
bye-bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.